Hey guys, I'm ChezPride, and today we are back with another life simulation themed game news type video. I think pretty much all of us know at this point that this week Paralives officially came out in early access, and even though I won't be able to get my hands on it till this weekend because someone is actually being super nice and actually buying it for a early birthday gift for me since I don't currently have the money. So since I'm having to wait on someone to buy it for me, I am having to wait a little bit longer, but it's going to be worth it because I am super excited for it. Honestly, I haven't been this excited for a game since Sims 4 came out. But since I can't get my hands on it right now, I am stuck with just watching people play videos and do videos on it and making videos on the progression myself. So even though I have already made a video going over the concept of Paralives and how the early access is going to work and what kind of gameplay is basically coming in it, now that is out, I want to talk about it since the full launch of early access. So I want to talk about how it's been doing since early access, come out with what they've been producing since launch day, and basically how it is holding up compared to some other certain game franchises and what they are quietly doing as Paralives launch is happening. But with that, let's go ahead and remind ourselves of what I am talking about. So basically, a new life simulation game made by an indie small company of 15 employees called Paralives came out, where you can make and play paras in a world that you can customize. Basically the concept of Sims, but super more customizable. It's only been in development for 7 years publicly and is only been funded by the creator and the people who have been supporting it on Patreon, and now is out for early access where you can buy it and therefore, support the game even more and it be improved even more. But since this is early access, it does mean the game isn't fully done. There are still some bugs that have to be worked out before the full launch, and there are also going to be additional gameplay features added on before full launch. But basically, right now, you can buy it in early access and buy it for a better price before the full game is out, and then have free updates on the stuff as it comes out. And once you get the game, the really good part is, unlike The Sims, there is not going to be paid DLC. That means that everything that is going to be added to the game, including weather, pets, seasons, probably weddings and stuff like that, all is going to come free and just in a free update instead of being added for a priced DLC where you have to pay more to have these features like in previous life simulations games. And honestly, from what I have been seeing, this game is just so mind-blowing already just at the launch being in full early access. So let's go ahead and just start by talking about launch day itself, because I feel like even for an indie game, it actually had a really decent turnout with the launch. It was definitely a bigger launch than I was expecting, and it definitely turned out in a good success rate, and which is really good because, like I said, you want the games, especially indie games, to have a good 24 hours when it comes to the amount they sell and the reviews they get and whatnot. And when it came to launch day, there was actually a decent amount of surprises. So starting out with that, they actually immediately put the game on sale. So the game was supposed to start out for $40 basically, and for the very first week, so all the way till June 1st, so I will get the chance to take advantage of this even though I'm buying it late, the game is 10% off. So you basically get $5 off or $4 to $5 off basically, and that's probably the best deal you're gonna get on it, considering that was supposed to start at $40 and it's supposed to slowly go up until the full launch. Now, the full launch is probably gonna happen for another couple of years, just looking from the roadmap they gave us, but we will get to that in a minute. So they went ahead and gave it to 10% off, and when they launched, they also did some more advertising by going ahead and giving us a launch trailer. So I've gone over the gameplay trailers that are long and they talk and whatnot, but this is just a quick recap of basically everything you need to do in the game. So you can see here you have your basic life gameplay then you can jump into the Create-A-Para. I know that's not what it's called, but that's what it's just going to be called in my head. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But, of course, to do that, you have to actually work and earn money. There actually has been a article already talking about cheats that you can do. I haven't actually read it yet, so I don't know the full extent of it. I'm assuming it has to do with like just basic cheats that are installed into games normally, but also they have went ahead and made it mod compatible. So there already are mods coming out for it, and then they're just showing off some more things here. So they're showing off the different ways you can do the gameplay, you know, with the socializations and the different gameplay, like fires. And they are just straight up going ahead and pointing out that there's bugs. But they're saying like, hey, you know, you have the Create-A-Para and the build mode, and there's some gameplay features. Now, obviously, there's going to be more gameplay features added throughout the game, and what I have heard from basically the people I've watched is the gameplay is a little basic right now, but they are saying that they're going to improve that. I mean, they were going ahead and giving people early access to the early access. So people that were big name, you know, like Shella and James Turner and Deliracy and all of those people got early access to Paralives. I think Dr. Gluon also got early access, if I remember correctly. And I was watching some of those people during early access, so obviously they were getting promotions there. But I was even an early access to the early access. So there were still bugs that were fixed on launch day. So basically, when it came out, they gave us a launch day bug fix improvement type patch. So basically, like, they launched the game and then quickly put a patch out afterwards that updated things that were buggy and things that people were showing before launch. Now, obviously, there's still going to be bugs. It's not going to be in full access for a couple of years. But as far as the first day launch, improvements they made, our restaurants are partially working. So all 5 restaurants in the city of Melino, which I think is how they are pronouncing it, now sell food at the counter. They promise that in the future you'll be able to order food directly at the table. So right now, all the restaurants work, but you have to go to the counter. Collecting has been meaningful. So all collectible items such as mushrooms, gems, and artifacts now have a price that depends on their rarity. Rare items have become slightly more accessible, so you have more of a chance of getting those collectibles. Caring for players' health as an opinion has appeared in the accessibility menu that allows you to reduce the intensity of foliage animations such as tree, grass, flowers, reduce potential motion sickness. And then convenient inventory. So interactive items can now be directly added to the inventory from the interactive menu in live mode. Previously, this could only be done in build mode. And there's a couple of bug fixes as well. So important life events, bug fixes where characters sometimes could not correctly perform input interactions such as first kiss, first intimacy, or try for baby, which would have been some really big problems if those didn't work. So glad to see that they're working on that. Now, when parafolk cry in the shower, their hygiene meter increases. So apparently if you were crying, you were not getting clean, which I guess kind of makes sense because if you're crying, you're not focusing on cleaning your body, but still weird. Negative points and tooltips are now displayed in the red instead of the green. And then with cosmetic fixes and paramaker is what they're calling it. Paramaker, not make a para. Paramaker. I mean, I guess that's okay, but I like make a para. Oh wait, whatever. In Paramaker, canceling the session as preset eyebrows has been fixed. The train ticket name has correctly showed in the destination to Melino. But in quest fixes, you can now correctly kick the take mushroom and take the trash from the clean the bench and the foreign trash quests. And the sound and translation, the volume of the embedded sound has been balanced, and various missing location text and descriptions of some households and displayed English even when playing in other languages have been fixed. And here we have a early look at the post-release roadmap, so it is subject to change, but basically what they're summarizing and saying is on the day of, they're, putting some bug fixes into the development, which we just read, and then June through September, so basically within the early year, the first few months, they want to performize optimization. They want to have a bunch of bug fixes. They're going to tweak to existing features, so they're going to make the existing features better and have quality life improvements. So where you're saying, the gameplay is a little dull, this is what they're trying to fix. And then within the first 2 years of early access, so there's going to be at least 2 years of early access, if not more, before the full game comes out. You have the first major update in Q4 2026, with more major updates of weathers and seasons, pools, pets, and more. So it's going to be a little bit before we get pools. Sadly, I was hoping they were going to add the pools in a little bit earlier. I was expecting weather and seasons and pets to take a while, but I was kind of hoping for pools earlier. But this is still very promising, so I'm very excited about it. And with the launch date, they also didn't just give us this patch update. They also went ahead and gave us 3 bundle collabs with different games. So they went through and they gave us bundles with different games that give you different game features and outfits and build modes. So we have Among Us. So yes, you can literally dress up like Among Us and basically play Among Us. They have emergency meetings and it's the whole thing. It's pretty crazy. And then of course you have build features and whatnot, such as figurines and posters and collectibles and whatnot. So they're already combining with other games to bring stuff into the game, and all of it's free. You can just download it. It's not anything you have to get, but it is accessible, and you can literally play Among Us on the computer as well, which is pretty cool, honestly. And they did some similar stuff with some other ones. So we have Kit Fox games, so you can play the Kit Fox games on your phone and your computer, as well as collect certain items like pillows, apparently, which is interesting. I don't really know anything about this game, but I'm assuming these are the characters from the game and whatnot, and the weapons from the game. The weapons actually look pretty cool, but honestly, I don't know. Out of all of these, I would most likely get the Among Us one, but here's them playing the game here. I like the Rubik's Cube decoration too. I look at the water bottle. Sorry, I haven't seen all these decorations yet, and I'm super excited about it. The computers look really nice, honestly. I'm really excited about how nice the computers look. It looks like there's some stamps you can collect and whatnot. So we have that, and then we also have this Paralives Outbound update. So with this one, you have some build features here. So I know they have the van from it with the fans on top and whatnot, and it has some different swatches. And you can also size it up and make it like a van that actually sits in your yard, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, you can play the game as well. So they're basically adding a bunch of games combined by actual games with features in the game that access them as well as items, which to put out on a launch day is, again, impressive. And as well, to go along with this, if you look on their Steam page, so you have the 10% off, but also they're going ahead and bundling with other games. So, they have the Outbound bundle to go with the bundle here. And then they have the Dwarf Fortress that kind of went with the other one. And then they also have a House Flipper one. And, they're doing all this, but it really shows off improvement of how they did this launch. Like, the how deep and how much they added on launch date really shows in their success, because if you look here, it literally says within the first 8 hours, 250,000 copies were sold. That is on an indie game on the first day. And like I said, there was a good support system already, but that's insane. And if you go here and look at the stats and whatnot, it's already at a very positive stat. So 89% of the users just in my language, which is English, go ahead and say is a very positive experience. If you go to the actual notes and like reviews, there's only like a couple of negative reviews, and they literally aren't like mean at all. They're just like, I have to leave a negative review because of this one thing. So it's actually like everyone so far is having a really good experience. Like, the charts are really high when it comes to sale revenues, obviously, and how many people are playing. Like, people are already putting like almost like probably over 24 hours of gameplay almost in this game. It's freaking insane. It's doing so well, and I think it's amazing that an indie game that only had money from Patreon and the people, like the 15 people on the team, can make this successful of a game. Obviously it's going to be a slow launch, but honestly I kind of prefer that. I like seeing something grow and expand. And speaking about games that were growing and expanding and came out on early launch, there is another game that I want to talk about, and that is actually Town to City. So this is a game I've been wanting and I've just been holding off on because I haven't had the money. I'm probably, honestly, it's gonna be a Christmas gift for myself. It might take a minute for me to get it, but it is a game I'm looking into getting. I wanted to talk about it because on the day I'm recording this, which is probably, it's gonna be after midnight by the time I post this, most likely before I am technically posting this in my time zone, if I get it out as late as I think I'm going to, because it's already 9 o'clock at night. But basically, Town to City has came out into full game now. So it came out as an early access game. Things were slowly fixed and improved. But honestly, when the game came out, it was almost like fully done. There was like player feedback that they improved on and glitches they improved on. But it's a really good, solid game. If you look at the reviews, it is overwhelmingly positive. Everyone is really happy with this game, and it has great sale reviews, and right now is 10% off. So it is normally $30 and right now is $26.99. So you have till June 7th to actually get it on sale. Now, if my money wasn't so tight, I might get it, but also I don't want to overwhelm myself and get so many games at once. I kind of am more excited about Paralives, but Town City is like second tier game I'm excited about. So I just wanted to point out that it has fully launched now, so you can get the full game. Now, obviously there'll probably still be bug fixes and whatnot that come in that game, but as I've watched it, is a really fun game. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Like, that is definitely something I will be posting on my channel in the future. I mean, I say like it'll be a Christmas gift, but I may get it before Christmas. With the Paralyzed coming, I might hold off on this game, but I am really excited about it, so I did want to talk about it. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a video on my channel if I didn't bring some kind of news into this, but honestly, I'm kind of bringing sadder sim news into this. So, we all know that Sims and EA in general is kind of slightly taking a downfall with the most likely possibility of the buyout, and people on the EA team are dropping out. People have, including me, have stopped buying content because of maker packs and the maker program, and they're already like slowly being like, ooh, maybe the maker program wasn't the best idea. Like, they are obviously trying to do things to like promote it and make it better. And I will say we have been getting a free event, but also the free event came with a bundle where they are like bundling with the Bridgerton thing and whatnot. So they are also very heavily going into now branding and combining with people, which, I mean, isn't all horrible, except for the fact that they're upping the price on the people they're collabing with. At least when the Paralives were collabing, it's like free and optional. But with this, it's like, oh yeah, the free stuff for the event, but then you have to pay $2 more than you would normally for like 2 different kits to get everything. It's just, and plus the maker kits are just money grabbers. So, you know, they have the downfall kind of going for themselves with the maker program and the EA buyout and all that. But they are even slowly and quietly shutting down stuff more, even outside of Sims 4 when it comes to EA. So we already talked about that the Sims Mobile is ending, or did end after a 7-year run back in January. And now, without like a huge announcement, and I'm actually pretty sad about this, they have completely took Sims Medieval off any store. So like the EA app, you can't get anymore. If you have a digital copy like me, you're lucky, because I still have my disc from like the early days. So if I wanted to, I could get something to make the CD go in my laptop and play it. But for those who didn't have it on the EA app, you no longer can buy it. I don't know if it will eventually come out and come back. I mean, they eventually brought Sims 1 and 2, and I think like Sims 3 went off the store and then went back on for a while. They're obviously having to make cuts certain places because they are losing more money than they expected. I mean, they were going to lose money with the debt that they went into anyways, but they're obviously having to cut costs, and they just were like, nope, Sims Medieval isn't worth it, which I hate because I actually really like that game. But I don't know, the fact that they just quietly took it off the market without even saying anything, it's just like, that's interesting. I'm just like finding the interesting of how with Paralives coming out, I mean, obviously Town to City isn't really a life simulator game, it's a building game, but stuff like Paralives coming out and other ones being talked about coming out, and now the buyout, The Sims is just slowly starting to slip into the cracks. Now, obviously, I probably won't ever fully stop playing Sims. It's been my comfort game since I was like 7 or 8, but I don't think I'm gonna put any more money into them. Like, I do not see myself putting money into them. I hate saying that, but I don't like the direction it's going, and I just honestly think Paralives is gonna be more worth it than The Sims right now. Like, I wouldn't put your money, if you're gonna put money into anything, I feel like Paralives is gonna be more worth it than The Sims. And if Paralives isn't your style, maybe you would like Town to City. But that's pretty much all I want to talk about when it came to the life simulation game themed news. Just kind of give my opinions on where Paralives is standing versus Sims and how much more successful it's going right now. I mean, obviously The Sims has way more of a track record. At launch, I think this is a pretty successful launch for indie if you compare indie to the Sims game. I'm only comparing it because they're so similar, and the interesting, much of how successful a launch was with how much the Sims game is having a downfall right now. Like, I'm very much interested in how that's affecting it. I feel like if the Sims wasn't taking such a hard downpour, maybe Paralives wouldn't have such a big successful launch. I hate to say that, but I just find the timing interesting, and I wonder how much that really affects it. But that is just my opinion on those 3 games and kind of what's going on. And honestly, I'm so happy to see Paralives being so successful. And after this weekend, it was basically for Pride Month, I will start coming out with Paralive content myself on this channel. So I hope you're looking forward to that. But for now, you guys, I'm going to end this one here. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people, and see you next time. All right. Bye!